Welcome to our first episode on weight loss and health. In conversation today, we have Muthoni from Kenya.
I wanted to say thank you so much for taking the time. I know you're a new mommy. Exciting times. How cute is your little prince? How old is he now?
He's 4 months today.
What?
Yes.
Time goes so fast. He's 4 months old.
Imagine. And he
He's
was
like,
born just the other day.
wow. How does it feel? First time mommy.
I still don't believe
I wanted to
sometimes I still don't believe I'm a mommy. I don't know why. But when he cries and when he needs me, that's when it hits me. It hits me. Oh shit.
He's your baby. He's so cute though. You have to show everybody the picture. He's just like so adorable. Them cheeks. I love it.
Yeah, and very chubby.
Let me just say to everybody, Muthoni and I have known each other on Facebook forever. We're always like bigging each other up, and
we've never met. We've never even done a live before or anything.
It's crazy. This is our first meeting, but somehow this is what I love about technology, that you can have friends all over the world, but sometimes you can know people who are genuine, you know? Like sometimes you have like just people who are just like, and they fall eventually. But we've been friends for a long time. I feel like you're my genuine friend. Like if I came to Kenya and I needed someone,
and it brings technology usually brings people together, people from different parts of the world. It's amazing.
Exactly. And I told you my best friend's Kenyan, so
and I think that's how we had a mutual friend or something.
That is exactly how we linked. And then it was just like I would always be speaking fake Swahili, and
but you're doing good. And Swahili is not hard.
Swahili is not hard in my opinion. Bantu, so okay. Now on to the actual conversation. So the reason I wanted to have Muthoni on today is because I feel like her journey is inspiring. It's really amazing. She's one of the ladies in the group, one of the few ladies who's been like losing weight, and she keeps it very quiet as well until she showed herself the other day. I was like, damn!
It was like a reveal party.
It was amazing. And I was just like, because I remember the pictures of you at the rugby sevens last year. Before the rugby sevens, you had started like working out something, right? I know you obviously over the past couple of years, and I can see that you've lost so much weight. So I guess the main question, I wanted you to tell us a little bit about yourself. You don't have to like go into private like details, but just to give people the context of what was your life like before you decided to start losing weight. Were you a single person? Were you a single parent? Were you working like 9 to 5? Were you working part-time? Like just to give people context, because sometimes people think that can't be me because of my situation. You know what I mean? So go on.
Okay, so I started this fitness journey actually sometime last year in March. I was in a relationship. I actually got married last year in June. So yes, that is something that I've also kept it quite low, but you can share it with the ladies. So I started the fitness journey before I got married. It's not something that I was expecting, because I say fitness for me started because of the friends that I had that time. They were going for rugby. Some of them were playing rugby, some of them. So I was just doing it for fun, honestly. But with time, it became a lifestyle. I have an 8 to 5 job. I work in a telecommunication company in Kenya. So and it's a shift job. So it's quite hard to get time to work out. But because of the fun aspect, I think it got me, because I had to create time. And then I got pregnant. I got pregnant in June, exactly 1 year later. Pregnant. So I added lots of weight. When I was leaving the hospital, I was 101 kilograms.
Wow.
I wasn't even taking photos because I was big. So I thought for me it will have been easier because I wasn't that big before, and I had started working out. I'd started running before I got pregnant. I thought it was going to be easier. But it didn't just you know the way you get you give birth and then people tell you once you start breastfeeding
So
the weight
just
will
go away.
go off. It wasn't going off, and I think I'm impatient or something. I knew I had to do something very fast. So that's when I started. I started doing research online, how you can lose weight, nutrition, and things like that. And then I started with nutrition. I didn't start with like working out or anything because I'm a CS mom. I did CS, so I couldn't go into.
So just to be like CS is cesarean.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah. So I started with my nutrition first, and I had to change everything from what I eat, from what I drink, everything.
So you made your own meal plan and everything.
Yes, I made my own meal plan.
Mm.
Uh, this is through research online. I googled. So first of all, I went off wheat, I went off milk, I went off sugar, I went off deep fried foods, I went off through almost everything.
Alcohol.
I'll,
My
for me,
favorite.
at least, I'm breastfeeding, so for alcohol, it wasn't that
Yeah,
hard.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But I think eventually I'll have to.
Oh my goodness, you're so
Yeah.
strong. Wow. It feels like there was a moment that you just had like a,
Hi, 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 hi.
you know, what, somebody else has come on?
It
Can you
just
see me?
went off. I don't know. Yeah, I can see you now. I can see
But
you
it's
now.
still recording.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was it just like a moment? So obviously, as you said, you saw yourself after the hospital and you were just like, no.
Yeah.
So basically answered the second question because the first question was tell us about yourself, which you did. What motivated or sparked the journey? You told us is coming out of
Yeah.
hospital, not being happy. You know, you knew you could do something about it. So
Yeah.
you decided to take things in your own hands. You went onto
Yeah.
Google, you started checking how do I lose weight, what do I eat, you
Yeah.
know, things like that. And then you found what worked for you, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the other question that I have, question 3, is how do you balance mommy time with health? Because you just say that, you know, when we started talking, sometimes you even forget that you're a mom, then you remember, oh my goodness, the baby's crying, he's mine.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
do you, that must really like be a very difficult shift in your
Yeah.
brain. You know, the way you were working out when you got married is different. Like you had nobody to rely on you. Now you've got
Yeah.
a little body. How do you balance that?
Honestly, it needs a lot of sacrifice because, for example, I started running like I think 3 weeks ago, and I usually run in the morning and in the evening. So I have to make sure that when baby wakes up at 5, because I usually run at 6. When
Yeah.
baby wakes up at 5, I make sure he's well fed, and then he goes back to sleep. And then either the nanny or my husband is there to be with him for that 1 hour or the 1.5 hours. It might be a bit hard for someone who doesn't have support. So for
Yeah.
me, I'll say it's the sacrifice. I have to make sure I sacrifice that 1 hour of sleep or 2 hours, and then also plan myself with the baby's schedule.
Mhm.
Yes.
So basically, your life has to be matched to whatever circumstance that you have. So for somebody else, they may not have a baby, but you're right. They may
Yeah.
have a job that now require with the whole coronavirus. You know, people are
True.
losing
True.
jobs and that. Your job
Yeah.
may require you to come in at 9. Now all of a sudden they may be like, you come in at 7:30. Do you get what I
Yeah.
mean? So are you going to stop because a circumstance has come along? You have to learn to match yourself to the circumstances that come into your life. That's a really good.
Yeah, and learn to adjust because
Yeah.
like on Sunday I had planned to go for a run, and then for some reason my baby was just fussy, and even yesterday we were supposed to do this live, but for some reason he was just
Yeah.
fussy. I don't know for what reason, so I had to reschedule that run in the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at least you did something. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
one of my favorite workout coaches is Sean T. I find him so inspiring. Uh,
Yeah.
his logo or his motto is transform your mind and you transform your life.
Yeah.
That's so true. Like it's mind over matter when it comes to exercise and eating healthy. For the transformation to
It
happen
just
in your
stopped.
body. Yeah, I've stopped again. I can see you though.
Oh,
You
yeah, it's okay. It's
perfectly,
okay.
like
Yeah, yeah,
whenever,
yeah.
don't worry, I can see you, you're there. It's okay. So
Okay.
what he says is transform your mind and you transform
Yeah,
your body. And it's
yeah,
so true. If you can transform the thoughts that you have about where you want to go, you decide this is not the life that I want to live anymore. I want to be healthier. Because
yeah.
health is wealth. When you
True.
imagine that you're investing in yourself, you're cutting off diabetes, cholesterol, heart disease, you know what I mean? It's not just
Correct.
about looking skinny, because again, that's
Yeah,
another thing that drives us as women. I want to be
yeah,
skinny, okay?
yeah, yeah.
So what? People will see you as being skinny, but there are people who are skinny and unhealthy.
True. I actually wanted to say something on that. For me, it's not about losing the kilograms. It's that should come as a plus. That should just motivate me. Oh yeah, I'm looking good. I've lost the kilos. But it's being healthy, having a healthy lifestyle, and being strong. Because you'll find someone who's skinny, and they're not strong, or
Mm.
they don't have they're not healthy. So it's not about the weight at all. It's having a healthy lifestyle.
Are you talking about strong in the form of are you talking about, oh, so Chulu is joining the conversation. Are you
Uh,
talking about strong in the form of physical strength or mental strength?
both physical and mental strength, because you see, once you start working out, or once you start eating healthy, there's something about you that changes. There's some positive energy that comes. I don't know where it comes from, because like right now I've not worked out. I'm going to work out in the evening, because in the morning again baby was a bit fussy, so I'll have to do it in the evening. But after my run, there's a positive attitude I have. I'm also able to take care of baby better than in the
Mm,
morning, because I have this energy. So it's strong, health wise, physical and mental.
yeah, you're very right. I think there's even a study that shows that when you work out, there's endorphins or something like that that's released into your bloodstream, and
Yeah,
you have a spike in energy. You feel more mentally focused and sharp. So
yeah.
you're right. Chulu, hello, welcome to the conversation. I'm just going to go through some questions that I have for Muthoni. Then, if you have a question, you can ask at the end. So we've spoken about what motivated her to start the journey, how she's balanced mommyhood with health. And I think one of my favorite points you've made is don't allow your circumstances to justify not being able to work out. Map your, you know what you want to do, decide that that's what you want to do, and then create your life according to your circumstances, like around them, isn't it? Don't let changes stop you from doing what you know is best for your life. Um, okay, how you think this will change? So right now you're on maternity leave, right? That's what you
Yes,
told me.
yes.
How do you think this will change once you go back to work? Like, have you anticipated any?
Especially now with the COVID, I know I'll have, because right now in our country we are having a curfew
Yeah,
from 4 a.m. to 10. It was from 5 to 7, but at least they moved the hours,
yeah.
because but thankfully, I'll say I have a good employer, because I'll be working for 6 hours. So it means I'll need to be working out in the evening. Right now I have all the time, because once baby is asleep, I can prepare my meals, I
Yeah.
can maybe go for a walk. But now I think I'll have to create more time then, because of the few hours, because of work, being a mommy, being a wife, being a
Mm,
friend. Yeah,
mm.
but I think I'm up for the challenge.
I think you are. You sound so much more determined. Like you've decided, even the way you're speaking, you've made the decision already. And I
Yeah,
don't think anything else that can curtail, that can stop you from where you want to go. And I feel like that's probably one of the most important things, the decision. When you decide, other
yeah,
people will come along and try to encourage you. Why are you doing this? Don't you think you've lost too much weight? Don't you
yeah,
think it's a bit too much now that you're having to run in the evening? You know what I mean? You're
yeah,
okay just the way you are, but you know why you're doing it and what you want to get out of it.
yeah.
Next question. What has been the hardest thing during the transition from being a person who is not working out or doing, oh, I assume you were working out. Like, imagine if you never used to work out. What was the hardest transition to go to a person who is not working out at all to?
Okay, the hardest transition for me will be to be consistent, because for this to be a lifestyle, you have to keep doing it every single day. You can't do it today, then you stop to the next day or the next day. I have to create a schedule so that I'm able to. If it's my meal plan, I have to do it at least. I've given myself a target. I need to eat right at least 6 times a week. I need to work out at least 3 to 4 times a week. So I think the consistency, the discipline, and just trying to make it a lifestyle and make it work. There's something wrong with my camera. I can't see you. Are you able to see me?
I can see you. I
Okay.
can.
Okay. Let's just continue. Yeah.
So,
So yeah.
next question: how did you get the motivation to start? Did you do it for the first time? Okay, you've already explained that. You say that the motivation was not being happy with where you were, right? Seeing that
Yeah.
you had gained so much weight.
Yeah.
Didn't do it the first time because just before you got married, you had been working out for fun, and then it became a lifestyle, right?
Yes.
The question 7 was, did your diet have to change? Again, you said yes. So
Yes.
just run us through the things again that you changed. So no more wheat.
No more wheat, sugar.
Yeah.
No more dried foods. The deep fried foods. Sorry.
Deep fried food.
Yes, and processed foods.
So give us an example of processed foods, because I think sometimes people get this one confused a lot with what foods is. So okay, I'll give you one example. I know things like smoked bacon is a processed food.
Yeah.
Things like, because it's got like things like
Sausages.
saturated fats.
Yeah.
Noodles, people love noodles, but you don't understand
Yeah.
how much there's that chemical that they put in noodles.
Even spaghetti,
Yeah.
pasta. Yes. And they used to be my favorite.
Same. Things like,
Soda, juices.
yeah, juices. That's another thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people do not realize that the juice that you drink has got chemicals
And,
inside it.
and it has too much added sugar.
Yeah, too much added sugars. You're right. You're right.
Yeah. So what I have this rule for me that if it's man-made, I need to take a step back. If I prefer eating things from like sweet potatoes,
Okay.
arrowroots, pumpkins, meat, any kinds of meat.
You
But if
you
it
you
has,
prefer things that are grown by like
yes,
from the ground.
yes. So I'm
So
avoiding too much man-made food like sodas, juices. If it's a juice, I have to make it in my house so that I know the exact quantity of. Yeah.
makes sense. That's
Yeah.
good. Actually. So that's how your diet has changed. So basically, you pretty much had a complete overhaul of your diet, because I assume you used to drink fizzy drinks, things like
Yes.
cakes, saturated foods. That's pretty much, you've removed the biggest change that sounds like you've made, the biggest change is you have removed things that are man-made. You try to make as many of the things that you eat yourself, basically.
Yeah. And for me, you see, I started for the food, I changed them completely after I got pregnant. Last year, I remember I was working out, but I was eating everything. So my weight loss wasn't I was strong, yes, physically, but
Yeah.
I wasn't losing weight because I didn't change my diet. So as much as you're working out, you also need to check what you're eating for you to see results.
That's deep. There's a quote I saw that said that a healthy lifestyle is 20% working out and 80% diet.
Exactly. Yes.
Put inside is more important than even the workouts you do.
Yeah.
Okay. So next question, and you've answered this already. You've pretty much answered everything. How has this impacted your mental space and your outlook?
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe I can when I brought baby home, this was a totally new journey for me and my partner. Both of us are first-time parents. We didn't know pretty much what to do, or I didn't even know how to breastfeed. My partner keeps laughing at me, remembering the first day I was given the baby, and was like, "How am I supposed to hold him?" I didn't know how to change diapers. It was so hard for me, and at some point, I found myself just crying for no reason. No one has hurt me, but I think the pressure was too much because I was wondering if I'm going to be a good mom to my baby. He's called Leo. If I'm going to be a good
Yeah.
mom to Leo, if I'm going to make it work. But honestly, things changed when I started working out, especially working out. Things changed. I'm more confident with myself. I'm more
Yeah.
confident with the baby. Mentally, I'm better than I was previously, and things have totally changed for me.
Wow, that's so, like, the words that you're saying are so impactful. Like, you've just said that exercise changed your mental space completely. And
Yeah,
people don't recognize this, that these two things actually go hand in hand. You
yeah,
know, when you just sit in the house staring at the walls, you become depressed. Your mental state is not, do you get what I mean? You can't get out of your own head. But when you're able to make time for yourself, exercise is literally making time for yourself. It's self-care. You're
yeah,
taking time to improve yourself. As we said about the endorphins, they release into your bloodstream. Something
mm,
happens, something good happens, and it refocuses your mind, you know, and just achieving that little goal, like I woke up today and I ran, or I
yeah,
did push-ups. You don't have to
right,
do like else. Set
yeah,
your own goals, you know what I mean? And that's
yeah,
another question I'm gonna have for you, goals.
mm.
Um, so I was gonna ask, what advice do you have for other women and mummies? Maybe I'm gonna change the question. What advice do you have for other women and mummies about setting the goal to live a healthier lifestyle, to work out? Um, what would you encourage somebody who's like struggling, you know, because normally a lot of us, what happens is, it's not that you don't want to work out. We've always
Yeah,
known you want to be healthier, you know, when you're
yeah,
getting bigger or when you're just sluggish,
mm,
but then you find yourself starting, then after 2 weeks you stop, or after 3 months you stop.
yeah.
How do you encourage somebody to get out of that?
I'll tell them just start small. Don't give yourself too much pressure. And you need to realize that your journey and someone else's journey is different. Just because someone else is running 20 kilometers in an hour doesn't mean you should do that. For you, it might just mean getting out of the house, going for a 30 minutes walk. Just start your own journey and measure your success. Don't measure your success with what other people are doing. Measure your success with, today I woke up, today I was able to go for a 10-minute walk. That's something maybe you've never done. So just start small, keep encouraging yourself, and try and research, and just go online, just try and learn more about nutrition. Just tell yourself, today I'll try and eat a healthier meal, because you know, when the moment you start eating healthy, some of these diseases, you won't be able to get them, because you've made that effort of making sure what gets in your body is clean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree with you. I think it's that's the really, like, the best advice that you can give. What gets in your body has to be clean. What you're putting inside you should be clean.
yeah.
One last question. So, are there any goals to share? Like, have you set yourself any goals? Okay, you don't have to say them.
Yeah.
Or any recent goals that you've smashed that I think it's basically pretty much in the post that you wrote.
Yeah.
Um, do you run any group or advice or links that you would like to share
Oh.
in the group? Do you want to be sharing like your journey?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
um,
I'll after this, I think I can share my before picture immediately. Like when
yes,
baby was 2 months, I'll do that, and
yeah,
the current one. And then
yeah.
also my goal, I had a goal. On Sunday, I did a 10-kilometer run, which
What?
was such a big deal for me, and I did it in one
Wow,
hour 20 minutes.
that's a short
Yeah.
time for 10 kilometers. That's
it,
what?
it was so hard, and for me, like most of the advices people have been giving me is that, you're a CS mom, you don't
Big,
work out,
yeah,
just focus on the baby right now, you know, such thing, especially on the working out part. And for me, I talked to my doctor. He told me, he gave me the go ahead and told me, just listen to your body, go
exactly.
slow, and you should actually, he was actually encouraging me to work out as long as I'm giving I'm listening to my body and taking it slow. But most people were like, no, you're just from doing a major surgery, you can't run. And I did that 10 kilometer. And
Wow.
it's even my mentor in keeping fit told me, like, for her it took her 1 year to be able to do a 5 kilometer run. So it
Wow.
was such a big deal for me, and it shows me that as long as you have a positive mind and you say it, you'll be able to achieve anything you want.
Oh, wow, I'm so proud of you. Honestly, I'm listening to you. I know a 10-kilometer run is like deadly. Your legs
Yeah, it is.
finished by the end of it. But you know what? I'm so proud of you. I think this is what women should be hearing, like how inspiring it is to be us. Like all the strength that you want from the outside actually lives inside of you. The motivation that you're seeing in other women or in other people, literally, you just need to tap into your higher self, tap into you, all the energy and anything that you want to do, it's inside you, you know. I'm so proud of you. But as I'm hearing you talk, I keep thinking this is also another topic that we need to tackle in the group. We've got a few moms, a lot of moms in the group, and I think it would be really great to have a conversation one day between moms who've been moms for 10 years, 20 years, together with moms who are new and people like me who've got no kids. What anticipation do you have? Because the reality, Muthoni, is the ideas that you had about birthing and children are completely different from what happened in reality. There were so many things that you were prepared for and so many things that you were not prepared for. You know, what you talk about not being able to breastfeed, I'm sure you went for classes, but it's still not the same. It doesn't really cover the reality of when you have your own child in your hands. Do you get what I mean? The last time I had a friend who's a midwife on, and one of the ladies had asked, you know, if I do suffer from an illness like HIV, how do I go about like having a baby? Because I still want one. Those are all conversations, I think, that I'm just listening to you talk, and I'm listening to you about some of the struggles you're saying, the mental state that you had to get yourself in as well, you know, getting yourself out of that postnatal depression a bit. It is postnatal depression. It may not be depression like to a deep extent, but it is postnatal depression where you ask yourself things like, am I a good mother? Will I be good enough? You know, so many women allow themselves to ask that question so many times that it goes further than what it really is. You know what I mean? You had an outlet, and your outlet was working out. And there are women who don't have an outlet. If you didn't have an outlet, you would have fully gone into full-on depression.
True.
Do you know what I mean? And these are conversations that are good for us as women to have, because there's somebody who looks at you, Muthoni, and thinks, you can never be depressed. No way, your life looks good. You just got up one day, you had a baby, boom, you knew what to do, you breastfed and you lost weight, bang out of order. And you just talk about your mentor telling you it took her a year to do a 5K. It only took you a 10K. Somebody's looking at you and thinking, are you superwoman? But this is, I think, I created the group so that people can ask questions like this that are genuine, and people like you who've gone through them can answer truthfully. We're different. You may be able to do a 10K, but you may struggle at something else in the workplace. You know what I mean? I could be able to do push-ups. You may be able to do burpees. And you know what I mean? So I'm really glad that you came on this conversation. I'm so excited. I need a suggestion from you. If you want to ever take on the live, like let's say 2 months from now, you set yourself a goal and you're like, I want to inspire the ladies and I want to do a live on the So You Think You Can Inspire page where people can actually interact directly with you. You can just message and say, can I take on the live? And I say this to all the ladies, like, this group is not about me, and it's not me, it's for all of us. That's why when you look, if you're a member, it says that we're all founding members. So that means any of you at any point can take over the group. And I want more interaction, because we're all from different spaces. It's not just moms or single people. There's young girls there as well. But I want people to be, it's a safe space as well for you to be able to ask questions like, you know, when you gave birth, what was the traumatic thing that you were scared of, and the reality, you know, things like that.
We can have the conversation more in the group, Anyone with questions can ask. Right for the next. I'm going back to work in a month's time, so I have all the time right now. So anyone to feel free, we can share ideas. Someone else maybe is better than me. I welcome them to share ideas and all that. Yeah, it's a learning process.
So excited. I'm so proud of you. Like, seriously, I am so proud of you, because I've been trying to challenge myself to start working out more, because I've fallen off completely. I was out, and then I pulled a muscle doing Pilates, and then I just and that really scared me, because when I pulled the muscle, it was feeling like it was just under my right shoulder, but it kept going straight through my whole back. Like, I couldn't sit down. I couldn't for like weeks. I was in so much pain that I've felt before, and I think that really scared me. But I have to go back.
Yeah, just start more. You see, like for me, I've not even been able to go to the gym. It's still something that is work in progress. But at least I'm trying to go for walks, going for runs, maybe a squat here and there, burpees. Just start small.
You're right. You don't have to do extreme things. You have to do more things consistently. I think that's the best way to end this. You don't have to do extreme things. You have to do small things consistently, and that's what you said. Set yourself a reasonable goal.
Yeah.
And that reasonable goal, do it consistently. If you're gonna say I'm gonna run, give yourself a goal. The goal is every week I'll do 2 runs without fail, or I'll do 3 runs without fail, and I will not run 50 kilometers, I'll run 2 kilometers. And then you find yourself doing more as you do that every day. You find your body naturally like becoming better. But Muthoni, you're the bomb.com. Even though at the end of this, your screen went black, so I can't see you, but it doesn't matter because we've got the recording. It's fine. So you were right when you saying to me there was something wrong with your video, but it doesn't matter because we did the conversation anyway. And I think the important thing is I want people to hear what you just said. There's another girl in the group, Nkole, who's been doing the same thing as you. She's one good friend of mine. And she really wanted to watch this live. She's always talking to me about working out, and maybe it's also possible within the group. Those who've got similar interests can form their own, like every Friday we'll be having our own live just talking about nutrition. What things do I need to change? Because I think that's important too. Excited. Thank you so much. Have an week. Guys, if you have any questions, Muthoni's page. Muthoni, do you have a specific like email address, or just you want people to just comment and then you can just see their comments and you can respond?
Yeah, I can see their comments on the Facebook, or they can even inbox me the questions, or they can inbox.
They can inbox directly. Another last question: can they inbox you anything in particular to do with motherhood? Will you be able to answer? Because you can always say no if it's something that's personal.
No problem. They can do that. They can do. In case I don't know, I'll be able to tell them.
Excited. Thank you so much. I'm so happy.
Okay.
You're so happy.
So it's nice seeing you at least.
Lovely to meet you at last. Mama, Levi is
after
baby, right?
after Corona, please try and visit Kenya.
I'm coming. So much.
I'll host you for free.
With the quickness. You don't have to tell me. I already invited myself to your house. No, I'm African.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. I'm really grateful.
Okay, let me go and see baby. Bye-bye.
Thank you for joining us on our latest episode. Please make sure to subscribe and like. Email us any questions at africatmp@gmail.com.